What's up, fanatics? Happy Wednesday. Told you guys I'd be back. So listen, I'll get right into it. You know I'm doing my top 5 rewatchable horror movies, and today we've got session 9. Really excited about this movie. This movie is different from any one that I've done so far because this is a psychological horror. A psychological horror, if you guys do not know, that's the one that's not going to be... Some people can call those boring. They're not going to jump out at you like a slasher would. They get more into your mind. They kind of start a little slower. You have to kind of get to know the characters, get to kind of know what's happening with the lay of the land, and then once you're kind of lulled into a false sense of security, then the stuff happens. This was a little bit more intense though, because you have a weird, uncomfortable feeling from the very beginning of this movie. The opening frame is creepy. There's an upside down chair inside of this room, and it slowly spins right side up, and the title comes on. So this follows Gordon, who's a leader of the owner of this company of his asbestos cleaners. You've got Phil, who's his second in command. You've got Hank, you've got Mike, and you've got Jeff. And Jeff is Gordon's nephew. So that's the team comprised to go into this mental institution and clean the asbestos and get it cleaned out. Now, problem is they don't have the job yet. There's other companies giving bids to get this same job, and they're offering faster turn times and taking less money for it. So they're really up against it. But Gordon just recently had a baby. His wife is a stay-at-home mother, and he needs the job. So he tells the hiring guy, he's like, we can do this job in a week. Knowing full well this job is at least a 2-week job at minimum by even the best companies. So he would hire somebody new or hire somebody extra, and they'd get it done in a week. The guy gives him his job, and he's super excited. So he goes home and he gets some roses. So he's sitting outside of his house in his car, and he sees his wife with their child. She looks at him and smiles, and he walks in. Now the camera is still inside the car, right? And you hear a voiceover, and she's like, "Roses, what's the occasion?" And then you hear this loud sound, and then it just cuts to another scene. So the thing about this movie is about fear in general. I mean, all horror movies are fear related, but this is about the manifestation of fear, like what it does to people. Jeff is afraid of the dark. Gordon is afraid of not being able to provide for his family, not being able to get this job, and he was to fold his company, and all he knows is asbestos cleaning. He's never done anything more with his life. Mike was supposed to go to law school. He did it for a year and dropped out. So he's got regrets about not finishing it, and he really wants to go back to it, but his peers are like, "Man, that's not for you. You're one of us. Stop trying to be something you're not." And they're kind of like, beating him down about it. Hank is doesn't really have too many fears. He's just kind of there. Like, he doesn't really know his place, doesn't really know what he is after. And you've got Phil, who pretty much is kind of like Gordon. He just doesn't want to fail, but this is like his life. This is livelihood. So, and he wants to do things right. So when he heard that Gordon gave him a week, he was like, we can't do this in a week. But they had a $10,000 bonus apiece, so they had to do it. Anyway, after the scene with the wife, then we start getting into the characters and getting to meet the characters, the different cleaners. So they're going in to clean the Danvers Mental Institution, which is a glorious building. Just look at the outside shot. It is gigantic. This movie reminds me so much of The Shining, because it puts you into that uncomfortable setting from the very beginning, and just the first time they walk into it, you've just got this eerie feeling from the beginning. So the real star of this movie is an old tape recorder. The power went out on one of their tools. So Mike had to go down to the basement to find the breaker box. And he stumbled upon this box that said evidence on it. And he found this old recorder. So he opens up the box and it sees sessions, session 1 through session 9. He puts it on, and it's a psychologist interviewing a patient. And basically, you don't know what she did yet. He's like, tell me what happened. Let's try to remember what happened down that night. She's like, nothing happened. I don't know what she's talking about. Then her name is Mary Hobbs. Then she flips to a young boy's voice. Mary Hobbs is a schizophrenic. Well, I'm sorry. She suffers from multiple personality disorder. She's got 3 personalities within inside her. And throughout this tape, throughout these sessions, you hear each one of them. Now, Billy and the princess are the 2 that really take the center stage for the most part. And the whole time, the interviewer is trying to bring up Simon. Simon has got to be one of the creepiest characters. And you don't even see him. Just one of the creepiest voices that you ever hear. And I have watched this movie so many times, and I still get creeped out by this movie. So as time goes on, you have Hank had like gone off to clean one part of the area, and he saw this coin. So he goes through this trail and breaks this piece of brick and finds all these coins. Now this is while they're working. So he comes back after hours thinking nobody's in there, and hears something. And this is probably like 30 something minutes into the movie when you have your first like real jump scene. The thing about this is it is a very cerebral movie. If you like psychological horror movies, this is the best one that's out there. I'll say it right there. Silence of the Lambs is up there. Silence of the Lambs is really good. To me, it's a little different. This is the best isolation psychological horror movie that I've ever seen. And it just slowly builds and builds and builds. And the climax is intense. When you first hear and find out who Simon is and why he's there and what he's done, and it'll give you chills. And then when you find out, when you start to connect the dots of how one thing after another thing all led, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I just finished watching not too long ago, and it's so creepy. It is so intense. It is so scary, and I'm not making it up. You guys know me. I'm a horror fan to the day I die. You guys know I watch all the horror movies in the world. This one, you have got to check it out. If you know me personally, message me. I'll let you borrow it. That's how you guys see this movie. But anyways, so one of the guy who went after the coins, ended up going missing. And they found him, but he was not all there. He had his sunglasses on and he was acting a little strange. So meanwhile, as this stuff is happening, this guy Mike is still still listening to these recordings. And these recordings are mirroring what's happening. The confusion, the lack of trust amongst everybody. It's mirroring what is going on in these tapes. And the interviewer is still pressing this woman to bring up Simon to remind her what happened. And then it happens. Simon presents himself, and it is from that moment on some of the most tense and intense filmmaking that you'll ever watch. If you have not seen the Session 9, I want to give you guys more, but I don't want to give it away. I really, really don't, because it's so crazy when it happens, and it gets me every single time. And then when you start to replay what happened prior, you're like, mind freaking blown. So anyway, I hope I did a good job to you guys to make you want to see this movie. It is called Session 9, directed by Brad Anderson. Let me get you the movie. Give me 1 second. You have got to check this movie out. You can get it on Amazon. Man, I can watch it over and over and over again. If you guys have seen it, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think I'm overreacting. But let me know if you agree with me. Tell me what you think. And again, if you like this video, leave a like. If you know someone else who like this video, share this video. If you want to see more of these videos, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.